Hello, friends. How is everyone doing tonight? Oh, a Gnomon Garden and a Winter's Lady. Hello, everybody. How is people doing tonight? As you can see, yes, I am on my lonesome. I was doing a little last-minute reading. If anyone hasn't read this, by the way, The Last Ronin, it's a Ninja Turtles graphic novel. You should check it out because it's freaking fantastic. And I finally finished it. I had like 20 pages left since Christmas, and I haven't read it yet. And it was really good, really, really good. But Crystal is not here today. She is, a teacher and a mom, and this is like hell week for her. So like for her kids, like it's like the end of the fifth grade year or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a teacher. I don't know these terminologies, but she's really busy. So just send her some love over on social media. Post it on Drag 'em Out. Yes, me too. Chopper is my man. He's my favorite character almost in all of Star Wars. Ahsoka is probably number one. I love Clone Wars Ahsoka, but Chopper's really close up there for sure. All right, but I don't want to sit here by myself because that's not fun. So let's see who's sitting backstage.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Oh, look. It's a multi-award nominated author, nominated for Best New Author for the Hugos twice, right?
The Astounding Award.
The Astounding Award, that's what it was. Okay. Jenn Lyons. Hi, Jenn Lyons. How are you?
Hello, Tom. Hello, Dragon Mount guests. It's lovely to be here. I'm doing wonderfully.
Yes. Oh, and also, obviously, dear friend, because we love Jen. And Mike, who the last time you were on was with you. So yes. I'm pretty sure at least some of the people watching now probably remember Mike. Yay! He is our DM for many of our tabletop role-playing games, including a Star Wars game, which we're playing in right now, which is a lot of fun. What is? What is it? West End Games version?
I mean, at this point, it's
kind of
because it's been house ruled to death.
Yeah.
So
but that's the D6.
Yeah, the D6.
Yeah,
the
D6.
Multiple D6s. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like this one a lot. So like, if for people that don't know, like, yes, there are many other like tabletop RPG systems other than Dungeons and Dragons. You may have never played any, and you only have ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons. But the idea is basically there's it's the dice you roll and the math that you do on the back end that changes mainly between systems. And Dungeons and Dragons uses D20s and all the pretty shaped dies. This version of the Star Wars game uses multiple D6s, and it's less complicated and more complicated kind of at the same time. Complicated is a strong word.
It's
customizable.
Yeah.
The character creation is fun because you can get really like crunchy and specific with the kind of characters you make, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's been fun to go back to, but it's definitely been a bracing sort of like, oh yeah, tabletop role playing games really have come a long way in a lot of ways.
There he is. Oh yeah, they definitely have. I mean, like freaking, I have never played Chainmail, which is like the thing that D&D is like based on. Like that was the first iteration of D&D, was called Chainmail, and I know there were a lot of charts and graphs that you had to like reference to do a lot of things, and no thanks.
Well, I mean, I've played, Dungeons and Dragons when it wasn't advanced, it wasn't anything, it was out of a white box, and it's come a long way.
Yeah. Especially since the time of the satanic panic, when everyone thought we were summoning demons and devils and we're gonna jump off buildings and things.
Yeah.
Fun fact, actually, Tom Hanks's first on-screen role was in Mazes and
Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters. That's what.
Oh yeah, I loved that movie, despite the fact that, of course, it was completely anti-Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It was like a propaganda film.
Yep.
Now it's like almost like like a ridiculous cult film for like the Dungeons and Dragons community. Like, oh, you
Right.
haven't seen it, you got to see it. It's so fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. I actually love that movie, but haven't seen it in decades. But
Yeah. It's Tom Hanks, very easy to spot. He looks almost like, other than being so much softer in the face, he looks almost exactly the same. You could tell him from across, like one eye half closed, you could still know that's Tom Hanks.
Yeah. The difference is he's just so young. He's
such a baby. He's like 17. It's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's playing a teenager, and he actually looks like a teenager.
He definitely looks the part.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. All right. I want to know from chat too. I'm curious what Noman Garden's going to say actually, because I know he's got weird eclectic taste in movies like me. Favorite obscure Tom Hanks, like older Tom Hanks movie?
Who are you asking?
You
Me?
and everybody.
I mean, I think you just named it.
The Mazes and Monsters.
Mazes and Monsters. That's what I would have come up with. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, for me, I'm torn. It's either Money Pit or Joe versus the Volcano.
Sure, yeah, those are valid, but I'd have gone with Mazes and Monsters.
That's fair. The Money Pit is so much more funny, but Joe versus the Volcano is just so ridiculous. But I think it would be Money Pit for me. There's a couple of scenes in Money Pit that if I think about, I'll laugh because it's just funny. Specifically, if anyone ever goes and watches it, or if anyone has seen it, they're filling a bathtub, and when they're cooking a turkey or a chicken or whatever it is. It's one of my favorite scenes.
All right.
I mean, that's a good thing to be rusty on his obscure movies. Yeah, Woman Garden, mean you.
I don't think any of us are going to give you a hard time for not knowing the totality of Tom Hanks's works. It's fine.
Well, I'm glad that you will have us in the background while you edit stuff. We'll try not to be too distracting for editing purposes. Reverse was on last week with us when we watched episode 1 of Andor. So we're going to be watching episode 2 of Andor, Sagrona Teema.
Yes.
Season 1 of Andor was great. Like, I honestly, like, and I still feel this way, I don't feel super strongly about Cassian Andor as a character. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I love Cassian Andor. Like, I do. I like watching him. Diego
Luna.
Why? How could I possibly forget the name Luna? Especially when I got
you have a cat. You have a cat named Luna.
Right there. Yep. He's right there. Okay. Anyway, Diego Luna. He's a fantastic actor. The writing for him is great. His dialogue is great. I don't know. I just don't have that like connection like I do with a lot of the other Star Wars characters. But the show itself, like the ensemble of characters and the lore, this new lore that we're getting, where we're getting to kind of see it on a micro level, especially the Empire. The Empire has been super interesting to get like a behind the scenes look at it on a micro level, where before it was always just like big Death Star, Super Star Destroyer, giant planets, Coruscant, the Emperor, Darth Vader, Moff Tarkin. This is like, literal grunt in, Imperial intelligence, and then like his supervisor. And that's the highest it goes almost for the majority of the season, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think I was probably similar to that in terms of Cassian Andor, like after watching Rogue One, right? But then as I started to watch Andor season 1 and now into season 2, no, he's gone way up on my list of faves. So he's a complicated character. I'm not gonna bash anybody for having a hard time, connecting. But yeah, no, I think that they've done some fascinating things with him. I'm very interested.
One of the cool things that they've done with him is kind of show, and season 1 of Andor did this with a lighter touch, I would say. Season 2 is much more heavier, ham-fisted about it. And that's not to say it's that in a negative way. They're just not trying to be like they're not sugarcoating it. It's just blatant. The allegory and the reference to, you know, modern times and modern issues and tying it into the Star Wars universe, and they're doing a very good job at it. In season 1, it was almost like anti-capitalistic with, you know, the obvious anti-fascist empire stuff. This one is like very specific things that are going on right now.
It is. At the same time, though, they couldn't possibly have known the way things would shake out when they were writing and filming it.
Like, I feel like
Yeah,
if you've been alive in America.
But at the same time, like, there's a lot of us that did not predict and did not, you know. So maybe they went well, you know, in the darkest possible timeline, this is how it's going to turn out, and this is how we're writing it. Oh no, the darkest possible timeline is happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, they had to start on this a while ago, so you know, it's like, you know, I had this conversation with you know, John Scalzi had a book that came out recently called When the Moon Hits Your Eye. And there's a bit in it. It's a good book, by the way. There's a bit in it where somebody is giving someone grief because to make sure that they don't reveal any national secrets on an unsecured chat group. Right? And this happened. This book came out like 3 weeks after Signalgate happened, or not even 3 weeks. It was like 2 weeks, week and a half. And I was like, has anybody commented about this? Is like, yeah, I know. It's the way that publishing works, the way that book publishing works. You know, this thing started years ago. It had to have started years ago. There's no last minute change to update it to current events. It's just that sometimes history rhymes. So, you know, that's what's happening here. It's just, this show is very, very on the dot, very, you know, hitting the bullseye when it comes to depicting a fascist authoritarian government.
Okay.
Do with that what you will.
And just to remind everybody, John Scalzi, fantastic author, has his own universe books too, but he's written a lot of Star Wars books. Yeah. He's also Tor, right? Yeah.
Wait, has John written Star Wars books?
Yeah, he's done a couple Star Wars books, hasn't he?
I thought he'd done. I know Chuck Wendig has, but I don't know. Chuck Wendig.
I might be confusing Wendig and Scalzi's books. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing.
I don't think Scalzi's done Star Wars.
Okay. I'm remembering a book that was called Android something, and I thought it was a Star Wars book. It doesn't matter. John Scalzi is a fantastic author. Oh, okay. And he was a Tor author as well.
Yeah. No, he's a Tor author. Yeah,
okay, absolutely. Okay. That part I got right.
Yes.
I'm thinking of the Red Shirts, which was a Star Wars Trek-like book. Okay. All right. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, Wendig I remember. I haven't read the Star Wars books in so long. It's been like, I want to say 10 or 11 years since I've read a Star Wars book. And the last one I read was the new Jedi Order series. The one where like Luke is the, you know, Grandmaster and stuff like that. And
right.
Jaina and Jason Solo stuff. I think that was the last.
Yeah, which is all now no longer canon. So
yeah.
Over in the legacy universe.
I like I like that they're pulling stuff from you know, the legacy or whatever they call them, you know, the non-canon novels. I like that they're doing that. I like that they included all of the cartoons and stuff in it. And that was one of the things that I wanted to bring up specifically about Andor too, is like, I love how Andor and many of the animated series, a lot of the Legends, that's what they call it. I knew they had Legends. A term for it. Thanks, guys. Yeah. See, we got Glenn and Nomen Garden. Glenn, I feel like this is the only time that anyone may give Nomen Garden a run for his money on how quickly he picks up information because of just how knowledgeable Glenn is about Star Wars too.
No, I just didn't realize you were blanking on Legends. Sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name. was that a lot of the animated series, a lot of some of the book series, but specifically a bunch of the cartoon series, nothing to do with the Jedi. Like, you know, we got the Bad Batch, which has been fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Rebels, even to a point, like the first season of Rebels, before we knew Kanan Jarrus was a Jedi, before Ezra started training, I really liked those like stealth, like sabotage missions that they were doing, where you kind of see the nitty gritty, less virtuous parts of what the Rebels had to do in order to overthrow the Empire.
Fair. I thought, well, I mean, I thought the Kanan Jarrus reveal happened fairly early.
It did. It was like episode like 5 or 6. But like his being a Jedi didn't come into play at all into like the story until season 2, really.
Yeah, that's fair. It was
he didn't really use his lightsaber at all. Like he didn't even have it on him in the first few episodes. But Andor, and then now for those who haven't seen it, there's a new game coming out, which I don't remember the title of. It's not going to be for a little while. Are completely sans Jedi and even almost any reference to the Force. Every now and then we get like, may the Force be with you. But to see like the darker side of the rebellion, and also they're like humanizing the Empire a little bit, where,
well,
you know, no, go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking, I mean, yeah, because I mean, that's the ugly truth, is that the people that do these deeds, that perform these things, are normal people. That's the horror of it.
Yeah.
Is that they're not, you know, they're not Tarkin, who, you know, no disrespect to the actor, but really did look like the reincarnation of death. You know,
he just, I feel like he knew, he just looked evil. Like
right. And by all accounts was a sweet guy, but
yeah.
you know, there was a lot of these characters, you know, Darth Vader's mask, skull-like, you know, this was a pretty painted with a pretty heavy brush. And we know from history that a lot of the people that did horrible things were also wonderful family people, and you know, you know, loved their spouses and went home and were nice to their kids, and they were normal people. We have a fantastic capacity to compartmentalize atrocity, and
as is evident.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad thing to remind ourselves of that.
No, and I think something that our media kind of is guilty of, especially in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, early 90s, I feel like it kind of started to shift in the early 2000s, was like not glorifying, but dialing up everything to such a high level, and not really kind of showing what goes into what happens. Like we always see the hero units on the screen. We never really see the normal people and what the collateral damage looks like, even for good things. Even when the rebels win in an area, a planet is destroyed. Like, but we did good. Like, you know, like the rebellion is going to live on. We're stronger for this happening. Like this had to happen for that to happen. But, you know, hundreds of thousands of people are dead on this planet. And like, you know, all of the people that we got to meet throughout this season that were on this planet, you know, I'm talking about season 2, Gorman. Yeah.
Gorman.
All I want to say when they say gore, like Gorman, Gore, like, in reference to the planet at all, is Gore Ramit, and I could just hear Jane in my head from Firefly saying it every time I say it, and that's a me problem. I understand that, but that's what's happening in my brain.
I think the thing to understand about Andor is that the show as a whole, not the specific character, is about all of the parts, right? Like the machinery of both Empire and Rebellion is made up of a whole lot of pieces, and all of those pieces are important. You know,
interesting.
And that is, there's so much about the show that emphasizes this idea. You know, as the as both seasons go along, you get multiple instances, all of these different times where you will see if this one person hadn't done this one thing, it all falls apart. If this other person hadn't done this one thing, it all falls apart. And it's scattered. There's dozens of these examples, which is part of what I love about it, is that it's much as I will, I will always love, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, but the rebellion is larger than just, the chosen one and his friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very cool way to approach these stories.
I completely forgot Peter Cushing was Doctor Who. Like, I forgot he was obviously like a long time ago Doctor. I don't remember what number Doctor, but I grabbed an image real quick.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I hardly ever think of him because it was like
it was a fast one and it was a while ago. Yeah. But yeah, like even there, you can kind of almost see. Hold on, let me pull that back up. You can see, like, you still see Moff Tarkin in there. You know what I mean?
Well, it's the cheekbones, but yeah, fair enough.
He's like, if I saw Star Wars first, and then I saw him on Doctor Who, which is probably Star Wars came second, just judging by his face and his the shape of his skull that I can see on his face.
But Glenn has a good point.
I missed it.
And technically, he was
Doctor. He was yeah.
Doctor Who, not Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah, exactly. He was a, and I always feel like a lot of the people that play these like ultra horrible people. I don't think I've ever seen an actor in a movie that has played like an ultra horrible person like this, and then like on the back end they're actually really cool people, like really nice.
You mean you've never seen one that actually was horrible?
They're always awesome. Like, it's always like, you hear like, oh, they were so nice. Like, one of my favorite things, I know this is completely off topic. Actually, before I go off topic, let's get the watch party ready. So for those who are maybe your first time doing the watch party with us, it's a 100% legit web extension called Teleparty. It was made by Netflix during COVID. It allows you to watch almost any streaming platform with a watch party browser extension. It works great in Google Chrome, Firefox, and what's the Mac one? Safari. So it's free, doesn't require anything. You just have to sign into your Amazon account again. And I think they might make you create like a Teleparty account, but you don't need to like pay for anything or do anything like that. There's no paid anything. So I'm going to post the link for that in chat. So if anyone wants to come and join the watch party with us, they can through that. And then I will put it in our other chat so that our dear friend Jen can click the link. And for anyone who wants to not join the watch party and just follow along with the clock that I usually have, I have the clock right here on my little screen. I will align the times and let it play. If you have ads, it doesn't compensate for those. So if you have ads, it will they will still play for you, but when you come back into the watch party, it will catch back up to where we are in the watch party. So don't worry about that. All right, anyway, off topic. What was I going to say? I don't remember, so that's probably good. That's why I did that. I knew if I went off topic, see, I have Crystal in my mind. I wrote a little thing. Crystal isn't there, so I wrote Crystal stop sign on a Post-it and put it on my screen so that I remember to do the things. I'm going through my notes. Oh, I didn't talk about the most recent Wheel of Time news. There is none, so that's easy. Amazon recently had their what's it called? Upfronts, which was they start today and they're still going on, but this is basically where they meet ad investors and they pitch like, here's all the projects that we're doing this year, here's all the stuff that we have in the pipeline for our streaming platforms, and if they have any new apps or anything coming out. and they're like, give us money for ads. And they didn't have anything publicly announced for Wheel of Time, but at the same time, a couple of days ago, they announced a lot of their cancellations, and Wheel of Time was not on that list. So I'm going to stick to my guns with my theory that Rafe, that we're going to get a season 4, and that we might actually get multiple season renewal. And what's happening right now is the negotiations for how many that's going to be. That's my personal opinion on that. The only really exciting news that I saw come out of the upfront so far was Fallout Season 2. I'm very excited for that. They also renewed it already for a Season 3, so we're gonna get Season 2, obviously, and we're definitely getting a Season 3, which is great. The Emmys FYC video dropped. I don't know what FYC means, Rapunzel. Let me know.
For your consideration.
For your considerations. Okay, yes.
But we got to talk about Wayne Pygram. I didn't realize that.
Oh.
Really? He was playing Tarkin? And they CGI'd that out? That is criminal.
That is crazy. So for those who don't know, in the in Rogue One, obviously Peter Cushing had passed away, so they used like a de-aging / facial thing, AI stuff to make him look like Moff Tarkin, and he did the voice. Who else did? He was in episode. He was in Farscape. He was in.
He's legendary.
Yeah,
he's absolutely legendary.
I'm trying to think of what else he's been in. He's done Governor Tarkin though, and Moff Tarkin and everything.
For Tarkin. Okay.
Yeah.
For the prequels for Tarkin. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But I still didn't know it, and so thank you for letting me know that, because that's a piece of trivia that had escaped my attention, and I'm a huge Scorpius fan. So.
Okay, so that's what it is. He was only in episode 2, and I think he was in episode 3 as well. He might have done the voice for. He didn't do the voice in like Rebels and stuff and Clone Wars. Someone did, because Tarkin is in Clone Wars, so and a lot of the end of Clone Wars too. So
okay, Glenn, you are an encyclopedia of knowledge about this stuff.
He's very good.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed.
I knew it was going to be between him and Nomen Garden for how quick we get Star Wars stuff, because it's usually Nomen Garden, but
I know a lot about the lore, but I'm not nearly as good about the played what in what, that sort of thing.
Yeah, your mic cut out there a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good.
Can you hear me? You good?
Yeah, we're good now. So and then the other thing that I was the thing I was most excited for is Spider Noir. That's Nick. So if you watched Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated Miles Morales Spider-Man thing that they did, Nicolas Cage played Spider Noir, which was like, it's exactly what you think it is. It's like a 1940s Spider-Man in a trench coat with a freaking bowler hat. Absolutely wonderful. And they're making a full length thing with Spider Noir, so I'm very excited for that.
All right. Yeah, no, that's
there he is.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. And Nicolas Cage, you know what? Like, for a long time, he was just the butt of the joke. I feel like he leaned into it, but now like almost everything that he's done has been gold. Like it's almost like because people stopped taking him seriously, and like he was able to just go and do these like weird off the beaten path like films that he was like passionate about. He's a fedora, sorry, not a bowler hat. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
bowler is the English one that's round.
Yes.
I was thinking Sherlock Holmes when I said it.
That's a deer hunter.
Yeah.
That's not a bowler either.
He's done like just some awesome stuff, like especially that the one with Pedro Pascal. Speaking of Star Wars people, the unbearable weight of immense talent or something. Yeah, it was, so good.
Yeah, no, I mean, fair. Unfortunately I saw Vampire's Kiss. I'm never going to be able to take Nicolas Cage seriously.
Well, that's the point. He's so unserious now. Like, he just does these wacky, whacked out characters, but they are great. He played in a horror movie recently that was just, oh my God, he was terrifying. And he wasn't being serious. Like, he wasn't like ultra serious. He was just chaotic. He was chaotic evil for our D&D people. Like, that's what he was in this. Forgot the horror movie name, but it was crazy. Thank you for sharing the links, Glenn, for sharing that link. So
thank you. That's very kind of you.
Before we get started on the show, so the show should be queued up for everybody, but before we get started, I want to we didn't mention A Chorus of Dragons or Full Negative yet, which are Jenn's, A Chorus of Dragons is Jenn's like big epic fantasy series published through Tor. Fantastic. What is it? 5 books?
5 books.
5
books, well over 1 million words. It's big chunky boys. Then we have
Bill Bridges appeared. Hello, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Then we have The Sky on Fire, which is a standalone that came out last year. Then I just finished crowdsourcing my first self-published novel, Full Negative, which is still in the production process, but should be out.
And that's a departure though a little bit. It's cyberpunk.
That is space opera.
Space opera. Okay.
Flat out space opera. So that's where my I'm a Star Wars fangirl really shows.
Yay, that's fun. Yes,
Absolutely.
it was. You had it up on BackerKit. The project has ended. It was funded very fast, actually, right? Like, it funded quickly.
First, hour it funded.
Yay! See, that's, deservedly so. But I love to see it.
And then, obviously, it's actually my next book is available on pre-orders, and that's my next Tor book, and that is Green and Deadly Things, which comes out next year.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yes.
Do you have like an elevator pitch for that one?
Yeah, Plants vs. Zombies.
Okay, fantastic.
No, not but yes.
But yes, okay.
But yes.
But not. But most importantly,
not the video game. It's not the video game.
But also, just as importantly, not plants turn people into zombies like that crappy M. Night Shyamalan movie. Knowing.
No,
okay.
No. There is a little bit of invasion of the body snatcher-ish kind of stuff going on, a little bit of body horror, but there's also the dead being resurrected and things like that. It's one side is plants, one side is dead. That sort of thing.
What you love space opera? I would have never guessed.
Yeah, never guessed, Glenn.
The geeky hippie Jedi Sentinel.
Yeah, I
never would have guessed.
I love space opera too.
Yay! Yeah. Oh, and Aaron on top of it too, with links to the pre-order for Green and Deadly Things. Thank you, Aaron.
I actually don't know if it's still going on, but it might still be going on. I know Barnes and Noble was doing their pre-order, their big pre-order sale where they offer 25% off. I don't know if that's still going on. But if it is, that's a good way to get it because it's a huge discount.
Fair enough. All right. I'm going to get ready to press play on our show. We will not be skipping the recap from the previous week because I like to watch the recap because my brain is spicy and remembering things is not always easy. So we're going to let the recap play and I will give you guys a countdown in a second. Here we go. All right. Everyone get your play buttons ready. If you're following along, if you're just in the watch party, you shouldn't have to do anything. If it isn't playing for you in the watch party when I press play, just refresh the page and it should work. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and play. Perfect. Should be going for everybody. Yay. Okay, cool. And my own personal thing is I like to have the subtitles on. It's super helpful, especially if you're, listening to us and you can't really hear, what's going on.
Because we're going to be talking over this. So, yeah.
So this guy specifically, her friend, like her childhood.
Take Holma?
Yeah. The guy that her husband is such a vile character. Like, I hate him.
Perrin?
Oh, God, I hate
Perrin's
him.
Perrin's kind of growing on me. I got to be
Really?
honest.
Oh, God,
I mean,
hate him.
season 1, I loathed him, but he's
Yeah.
kind of growing on me.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like his character as in, like, he's a good...
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, he's just like, oh, he's so oily and just...
They're flipping Perrin and Tacolma. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. I liked him so much better, Tacoma. Like, I liked him so much better in season 1. Like, I liked his...
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I liked him as a good guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he seemed like a good guy.
Yeah,
he absolutely seemed like a good guy.
And now it's just like, what have you done for me lately?
But
I feel undervalued.
This is Andor. Like, kind of nobody's a good guy, right? Like, nobody's a good guy. So, or more the point, they're only good guys to a point.
Yeah.
Which I think is realistic.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like, showing, and again, that's another thing that's the thing that Andor does that's been fantastic, which is showing the, like the darker side of the rebellion and the things that are going on. The thing I love most about Andor, though, is Mon Mothma.
Agreed.
Yeah.
By the way, Disney, if you're listening, Mon Mothma book, I will write.
Hey, man,
just give me the opportunity. I'm there.
From your lips to Bob Iger's ears, I hope so. That would be an epic freaking book. Oh, yeah, I'm there God, I'm so like
amazing.
I feel like I want to, like, my head canon is like her early life. She did some shit. You know what I mean? Like, she was like a rabble rouser a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, especially as like her anti-imperial sentiment and stuff like that. Oh God, I want to know so much more about her. Like, and to remind people. So Jen, correct me if I'm wrong. And or Glenn or Noman Garden.
Or all of the above.
Yeah, or all of the above. The original Star Wars, there was only like 3 female characters on screen. And when I say original, it was episodes 4, 5, 6, A New Hope, Return, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Right. We had 3 female characters and only 2 had speaking roles, and Mon Mothma was one, and she had like a sentence.
No, because everyone forgets Beru.
I do always forget Aunt Beru. I always forget Aunt Beru. So
Aunt Beru.
4.
Yes.
4. So it was like, it's Leia for how much speaking time they had. Leia, Aunt Beru, Mon Mothma, and then the slave Twi'lek in Jabba's palace.
And I will give them credit, although it got cut. The one pilot who did have speaking lines, but that got cut.
Okay.
In A New Hope, she did talk. She talked. She had lines, okay. But it got cut. They reused her lines though, which I think is fantastic.
Oh, that's good. I like when they go back into the archives of stuff like that and give it life.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that has always been a problem of the original series, is that there was not, I mean, the women, it's kind of like Tolkien, right? The women that were there were fabulous. There just weren't a lot of them.
Oh, that's cool. I did not notice that. Now I got to go check out the Sherlock music. I wonder if it's the same composer that composed the 2 things. But yeah, no. So what I was getting at when I said that was basically, I love how they're fleshing out Mon Mothma more, especially because like she's such an important character to the rebellion, and we got nothing, about her in the movies.
No, I think the world building in this is fabulous, and I could go on and on about it. But what I love about this part is it really is kind of driving home the idea that these people, that the rebellion was fractured. These were not people that were a cohesive whole, right?
Yeah. How they're almost, I mean, the Empire views them as terrorists, but they are cells. They operate in cells. And at this point, Luthen is their connector. Like, he goes, Luthen and his counterpart, the woman that's always doing the radio signaling and stuff in his shop.
Oh, that's Clea.
Clea, that's what it is. Okay. I honestly, I think she's the real leader of this.
There's some memes going around that's basically exactly that. It's
yeah. Though on the flip side, I think Luthen is like, we haven't even seen the real Luthen yet. I think he's a character when he's with her. I think he's a separate character when he's with Andor. He's other characters when he's with other people. I don't think we've seen Luthen's true face yet.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night so much.
Oh yeah, so much. Let me see. Do I still have Luthen?
Partagaz, this guy.
Oh yeah, that's Luthen, by the way, for anyone who is wondering. I was just to make sure.
But Partagaz here, this guy, like, don't you know he's the best grandfather? Like, you can just look at this guy and tell, right? Like, when Life Day comes, he's absolutely giving all the cool presents to his grandkids. I mean,
Life Day.
But I mean, like, he seems like he's like this sweet old man, and he's masterminding all of this stuff that's absolutely horrifying.
So evil. Just so evil.
And so competent.
Yes.
So competent.
That's the scary part.
That's part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can reassure yourself that Tarkin did some really, really dumb things.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't seem to make those mistakes.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
And to that point, like, Tarkin, don't get me wrong, Tarkin did horrible things and he was a monster, but like, he almost kind of like fell into those things and like, then in even some cases took credit for things that happened that he had no involvement in, where like, this guy is the one orchestrating it, planning it, executing the nitty-gritty parts of it, making decisions behind the scenes. And Tarkin, don't get me wrong, Tarkin was horrible, but this guy is just like, oh my God, he's methodical and just he's good. He's very good.
Yeah, the problem is that Tarkin was personally ambitious, and I get the feeling that Partagaz is ambitious for his department, right? Like, he wants the ISB to gain power. It's not about his own personal power. He's already very close to the top.
Yeah.
And that's a scary combination. But I love Luthen and Clea, so. Yeah.
That's so like, I have trouble finding things I disliked about Andor, to tell you the truth, but like just to keep building on what I like about it, casting phenomenal. Every single person they've picked has been amazing. Every actor is absolutely amazing. Costume and set design, beautiful. Like, I love being able to see all these, like, we're on what is it, Chandrilla? Chandrilla. They're Mon Mothma's home planet. So for those who are not super Star Wars nerds, if you've seen any of the Star Wars stuff, any of the prequels or anything like that, or even right now, we have senators, right? So the senators are basically, instead of being in charge of like a city or anything like that, they're in charge of an entire planet. So like she is the senator of Chandrilla, which is a planet, and then like Padme in the prequels was the senator from Naboo, the planet of Naboo. So she's essentially like where a governor is the head of a state. The senators are the head of the planets, and then they report to the chancellor of the Senate, and then that in turn goes up to the emperor.
They're not the head of the planets; they're the representatives of the planets.
The representative, yeah, they represent.
So Naboo has a king or a queen, but then they'll also have a senator.
Yeah, they represent the planet to the empire.
Right.
They're the external representation, like where the governor like goes to the federal government and like sits with the president, like they do that with the emperor or with the chancellor.
Hold on, this scene right here.
Okay.
Is an amazing scene as far as parent. He was always weak. That's just like an amazing bit, because that was when it really clicked to me that Perrin has dedicated his entire life to this construct of family.
Yeah.
Right? Doing whatever it takes to keep this sort of family unit going, even though he and Mon don't really even necessarily like each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, he thinks that you know, he thinks the other guy's weak because he let himself lose control.
Yeah.
It was an interesting glimpse into Perrin's personality.
I like yeah, that's a great statement, Nomengard. And I would much prefer an elected monarch than an inherited monarch if we had to pick monarch.
Yeah.
Also,
Agreed.
the guy that plays Perrin, his name is Alistair Mackenzie. Just putting that out there. Is a fantastic name.
Yeah.
He's his character, especially in this season, is like where in last season he seemed to be like he wants to just be a rich guy that just spends his money and like does extravagant things. He's being more methodical now.
Yeah. I mean, and it is interesting because they talk about his gambling addiction in the first season, right?
Yeah.
So here's a guy who's not perfect. He has an addiction that he's dealing with, but to him, that is less of an issue than embarrassing
the family,
embarrassing people in public by getting drunk in public. It was just an interesting, it was an interesting counterpoint to take Holma. But yeah, these guys just, again, I there's a thing, and I'm trying to remember who said it, but it was basically something like, in no circumstances is going through this level of conflict, this level of struggle ennobling.
Yeah.
And I think about that a lot because these guys are turning on each other. So I mean, it's Lord of the Flies down there. These guys are turning on each other immediately.
It gives like, so what that, like, I feel like shows, especially as like an allegory to stuff going on now, is like, here are the darker side of like a rebellion or insurgency that's funded by money. Like these people, this is a mercenary group. So like, how quickly it could, even a side that's fighting for the good can descend into anarchy and like, Lord of the Flies type shit. And
did they say they were mercenaries? I thought it was that their one leader got killed and without her, she was what was pulling everything together.
Andor mentioned like something mercenary group. I don't remember exactly which it was when he landed. Like you're with blah 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 of the blah 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 mercenary group.
But here we have my least favorite character. I love Cyril and I hate Cyril.
Yeah,
so
Cyril,
he's amazing.
He's like the guy that thinks the Empire is doing the good thing. Like he doesn't realize what
he thinks
they're
he's a paladin.
He
thinks he's a paladin. He thinks he's doing the right fight, fighting the righteous fight. And he couldn't be more wrong. It's just amazing.
I can't wait till he sees it. So normally we're full spoilers. I will say, let's not spoil episode 9 of Andor. So just for everyone's sake, I haven't seen it. So
8. If you're talking about Cyril, 8.
Okay. Oh, I saw episode 8, but I haven't seen episode 9, so I don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah, you gotta see episode 9. That's
no, I haven't watched it yet. It was for those who don't know, it was Erin's birthday last week, so we did multiple birthday celebrations and then Mother's Day. So obviously it was a little bit busy this past couple of weeks.
Okay,
that's fair.
Thanks, Snowman Garden. He said that it was one of the factions that have been talked about with Saw.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna say that I knew for sure because there's a lot of stuff on the show that I miss on occasion. So
that's fair.
There's a lot here. It's a dense show.
It really is, and it's so good. By the way, I think if I had to pick one casting in all of the new Star Wars stuff, and when I say new Star Wars stuff, I mean everything over the last like 10 years. I think Forrest Whitaker as Saw Gerrera has been freaking phenomenal. Like everything that he's done has been like, it's just so good. He's so good. I always forget how good of an actor he is until I see him.
So you guys, I always forget the name of the third guy in this who's come from not Brasso, but the other guy, the kid with his girlfriend. I always forget his name.
Her I think he calls her his cousin.
Like no. I always forget his name.
Yeah, but it's what's her name's cousin, Bix's cousin.
Yeah.
I forgot his name too. There's so many new characters.
Willman. Thank you. Because I love this is the beginning of Willman's A Blonde in Every Port.
Yes. so good. All right, so trigger warning for everybody.
Trigger warning for everyone.
There is a sexual assault overtone in this episode.
No. It's a sexual assault. It's not. It's not an overtone.
They don't. She.
It's not a successful one.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. She thankfully fights him off, and it doesn't happen. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
What I meant more is it doesn't happen. Like he attempts, and she fights him off.
It's an attempted sexual assault.
Yes, that's yeah.
Yep. And this actually has been the cause of more conversation for me than like anything else about the second season of Andor. Like I wrote an article about it, and I did all this other stuff because people were upset about this, but not in the way I expected them to be upset. Meaning an awful lot of women have watched this and been okay with it, and an awful lot of other people, of men, have watched this and not been okay with it. I think
I'm sharing a link to the article right now.
There is some nuance to this that you don't usually see in this kind of scene.
Yeah.
And I found it fascinating because I mean, he's scum. Like, he's done this so many times before.
It's rehearsed. It's so rehearsed.
He's done this so many times before, and he absolutely thinks that all of these women have agreed to it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
If you accused him of being somebody who sexually assaulted, he would deny it and not think he was lying.
And that's why it's so important in a like, you know, to make it realistic. It's a power dynamic thing, right? Like which is why it's so inappropriate when there's a power dynamic at play between two people. Like it's important to maintain like a no relationship type thing, because even inadvertently, you know, like when it's not a scummy, shitty person on one end, it's still not good, like for the other party.
Right. You have people. I mean, this came up with the whole Neil Gaiman thing, right? Where you have somebody who maybe they're not deliberately twisting somebody, you know, tying somebody up. They're not. Yeah. But the other person still doesn't think they can say no.
Yeah.
You know.
And in the real world, and especially with someone like Neil Gaiman, the threat is like career and, you know, and social standing. Here, he's threatening literally her life and the life of everybody there. Because like on a whim, they can just kill everybody and no one would care.
Yeah, no one will question it.
Yeah. So. And then on top of it, we have the allegory of you know, I mean, then they just blatantly just like spelled it out. Completely necessary low-wage immigrant workforce that the government fully knows is there, and that the companies that are using them fully know they're illegal and exploit that fact by paying them so little, and that's the only reason why their company can function still. Like that's basically the vibe they give you. Like he even spells it out for her. Like
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we're back on Chandrila.
Yeah, we're back on Chandrila now. And this is, so here, tell me what you think about this, and chat too, because this is my opinion on pretty much the whole Mon Mothma personal storyline, specifically with her daughter, is kind of like an allegory of religiousness and cult-like behavior coming back to a younger generation where we didn't think it was going to do that again, like in our current darkest timeline of reality. Like, you know, we're seeing like an uptick in like people getting, like the younger people being more religious, but using it in a negative way. And that's kind of like what we're seeing it here. Like, not saying that arranged marriages are terrible, but like, obviously neither of them are happy about this. This is just like, she wants to be traditional and like get back to values and like things like that are being twisted and used in a darker way.
And it's interesting too, because they make a comment in the first season that neither Mon nor Perrin support this.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are fundamentalists in this way.
It's her.
Well, I mean, it's Mon, but
yeah.
But
well,
she's
I meant
the
daughter.
It's the daughter's the one who's Lita's the one who's, went, yes, let's do this.
Yeah. And her cousin,
Val.
Her cousin, Val is
Val.
like, Vel is like, what is going on? Like, what is she doing?
Well, I think Perrin's going, what is going on too?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not unhappy. I mean, I don't think he supports it, but on the other hand, he's really kind of Mon Mothma's almost like her publicist in a lot of ways. So, what he can do with the marriage, I think he supports, even if he's a little weirded out by it.
Fuck Casanvar is his name now. Yeah, I could support that. Casanvar, that is.
Yeah.
But that whole like religious allegory stuff that they have going on with them has been super interesting, and completely like not even looking at it as an allegory, just looking at it as like a completely unknown planet, a traditional thing of a people that we knew nothing about in Star Wars. It's interesting to see it.
Yeah. And I mean, and it does get important, right? Because like Chandrila does pop up in other places. Like Ben Solo, before he goes to train with his uncle, grew up on Chandrila. So that gets interesting,
Which is Ben was the youngest of the Solo children in the books?
No. I mean,
no, that was Anakin.
I mean Kylo.
Ren. Kylo. Oh, okay.
Kylo Ren. Ben grows up on Chandrila.
Kylo Ren. Yes. Okay. My brain immediately defaulted to the book version of him.
Sure.
I mean, that's not, no shade on Kylo Ren or what's his face, the actor that played him. I enjoyed it. I just
Adam Driver.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Adam Driver. If anyone's never seen the John Oliver.
Yeah.
Bits with Adam Driver. Just Google John Oliver, Adam Driver, and it'll be gold for about 10 minutes. It's really funny. But he was just so petulant and like, annoying.
So this was interesting to me because, when season 1 ended, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen with their relationship. It was a little, I was like, okay, what's going to go on here? As people have pointed out, he was kind of stalking her.
A little bit.
But at the same time, like, he very obviously adores her. It's interesting. It's an interesting relationship. Yeah. It's kind of creepy, but they're on the other hand, she obviously has all the power in that relationship. So
her whole character is really interesting, and the actor who plays her is so freaking funny.
Can we just one more time the costumes? I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous
costumes. Okay, you sorry.
Oh no, like, oh god, even these, even like the Chandrila party outfits, like they look so awesome. I love, and this is I think it's the outfits in Star Wars are what push me extra that Star Wars is just a fantasy in a space setting. Because like whenever they can, the outfits are very robe-like and flowy and like fantasy-esque. Like he looks like he could easily be like
an elf.
Yeah, easily.
He could be an elf.
If you put pointed elf ears on every single person here, this could be a Lord of the Rings party at freaking damn it, Lord of the Rings Elf City.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Ellendale. I don't disagree, or any number of places, Lothlorien.
Ellendale, yeah.
But but yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. If this doesn't take awards, if this does not take Emmys for costuming, I don't even know.
Listen, all I got to say is Wheel of Time better be in there for either set or costume design at the very least, because their costume design was also wonderful.
That's fair. But
I know it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's nice to see something other than Imperial uniforms and dirty sand covered clothes all the time. Like seeing all like this different stuff is nice.
Yeah, no, they've done amazing work on the costuming on this. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her heart breaking.
I know.
Absolutely breaking.
Yeah. You know what it is too? She knows right now they're gonna have to kill him.
No, I don't think she does.
I feel like a little part of her brain is like, it's gonna have to happen.
Maybe, but she's not facing it.
No. She's not facing it. And she's resolved to make it not happen. But I think a small part of her knows it's going to eventually get to the point where it has to happen.
Yeah, I think there's still a little bit of naivete to Mon Mothma about certain realities at this point. It's going to go away real soon. But, I think she's just brokenhearted because he's done this. I love, however, how they never actually say, I'm blackmailing you. Yeah. Those words never leave his mouth. If you don't pay me, I'm going to do this. It's just this very, very subtle, phrasing.
See, I the only reason I disagree is I think she's a lot more like pragmatic and to the bone of a problem than we think. But at this point, she's still an optimist. So like that part of her is there, but the optimist is still like, I want to try to do this the right way. And like, rah.
Yeah. I think she's going to get to that point, but she's not there yet. Right. Like,
I think it's there though. I think it's in her, like,
sure. She has that character. She can get to that point. She does get to that point.
Yeah.
But right now, no, she's still
she's an optimist. She wants it to be the glorious, bright rebellion on the side of right and good and doing everything perfectly. And there's that doesn't exist.
Yeah. That's why she's so upset when he does this.
And
such a betrayal.
I remembered the aside that I was going to make a half an hour ago that I forgot, which what I just said gets back to that. Like, I feel like our media in the past did that with things. Like they made everything glorious and perfect. And like, you never have to make a questionable decision and everything is black and white and there is no gray. It's right and wrong. And it's always easy to see. And here it is. And the media was that for so long, forever. Like movies were like that since movies started. And then the general film and television show and comic book and radio broadcast, drama and everything were that up until, the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not saying there were none, but the majority of them were the early Star Wars was just Rebellion versus Empire, and Rebellion is perfect and right and great and good.
Yeah. No, it's very much a thing that, like, if you study history, I hate to say it, but even literally fighting Nazis, the good guys did terrible things.
Yeah.
That's just how that works.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to make a choice. Like, do we bomb this area or that area? Both places have civilian casualties, but we have to bomb it. Like, what do we do? And it's horrible. And it takes a certain type of person. And I feel like Luthen used to probably be Mon Mothma. Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
The optimistic, righteous, I want to do this for good and like.
But I think he gave it up a long time ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And Skarsgård in this part is amazing.
Oh, absolutely amazing. He's so
Daddy
good.
Skarsgård, as I like to call him.
And I think. Yeah.
Did you think this would be bloodless?
Yeah.
It's a good line from Godzilla.
One of my favorite lines out of this episode's coming right up in a little bit. It's not right this second.
Okay. And here's where our thumbnail comes from, which is from this moment. I thought it was a good spot. This is when Perrin stands
But
up.
this
on
is
his
what I
little
mean. Like
pedestal.
Perrin is like the entertainment director,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
He really has a job.
He's the social engineer for
Yeah.
Mon Mothma. Essentially, he does all her social stuff, and also his own that he builds off of it.
Sure. But I do definitely think it's this job as the social coordinator.
It belongs in a museum. We did talk about that last week. We showed the Shankara. Did you spot the Shankara stones in Luthen's shop?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
As well as Queen Amidala's, or I guess Queen Amidala's headress. And,
Queen Amidala's headpiece. There was a whip frozen in carbonite.
Yeah. I don't know if it was necessarily Plo Koon's face mask, but definitely
it was a Keldor face mask.
It was a Keldor face mask.
Yeah.
And then of course the biggest holocrons I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God, they were so big. They were so huge. I'll pull up a couple of pictures for people so we can so I could show what we're talking about. I didn't have them prepped for this episode.
That's like if you don't really want a holocron as much as you want like a coffee table conversation piece.
Yeah.
That looks like a holocron.
So like I feel like it's obvious at this point that he was definitely like a former Jedi, or like I kind of hope it's not entirely obvious, but they are heavily implying that that's what he was. That's
very
really
obvious
what I meant
to me that he was an archaeologist,
or that
not the same thing.
Yeah,
I really hope he's not a Jedi.
I go both ways with it, to tell you the truth. Like I could go, I'd be okay with it depending on how they did it, but at the same time, I also would like them to subvert our expectation on that and it be something else.
Yeah, you're right. There was a Roman dodecahedron. Is that how it's pronounced? But
20-sided. There was and more importantly, there was a Egyptian dodecahedron that they found that was made out of animal bone, which was older. It was like 3,000 years old or something like that. D20s have been around forever.
The world building on this. I like I said, I really hope they don't make him a Jedi.
Yeah, I can like I said, it would be better. I feel like it would be better if he wasn't a Jedi and they made it something else. But at the same time, if they make him a Jedi, there are definite ways that they can make it like really freaking awesome. All right, here I got pictures from his shop now, so we can look at them a little bit. There it is.
Man, these kids.
That one, that's after they took the Shankara stones out from behind him over here. Like they're gone.
Yeah.
But we see
stuff's constantly coming and going through the shop.
Yeah, but we see the armor from The Force Unleashed over here from the PlayStation game, The Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Those were pretty cool. That's
probably not what you meant to. Yeah.
Yeah, we went. Well, there we go. This is what's her
face?
No,
the actress. Yeah,
the actress that's playing Bix. Yeah. Someone said that she would make a good Berylyn from The Wheel of Time, and so I went and found her actor headshot, and I was like, yeah, I could see it.
There's a ton of people fan casting her for all sorts of stuff right now. It's pretty funny.
Right. There's the Amidala headpiece and the Plo Koon mask, or Keldor mask.
The Keldor mask. We don't know it's Plo Koon.
Yeah. And then this was, I forgot Ahsoka's race's name, but
Togruta.
Togruta, yeah, it was a Togruta urn,
I
guess, or pot or vase or something.
Yeah. There's so much stuff in there. It's just like
there's the Shankara stones.
Yeah.
There they are. I love that they did that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Wookiee headdress. Oh, and then this I have sitting downstairs on my shelf, which is it's a Sith vase.
Yep.
They sell it at Disney World. I have it sitting on my shelf downstairs. Yeah, the Wookiee headdress. I'm looking for the... Oh, and there's the Temple of the Wills Jedi mask.
Yep.
Plo Koon's face mask, the Shankara stones, Indiana Jones's whip, frozen carbonite. There it is. That's the armor from The Force Unleashed. It's moved around his shop 2 or 3 times now.
That's Tulak Horde.
It's
that's
themed
Tulak
after.
Okay, it's themed after
Yeah.
Tulak Horde's armor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And you can see it's also the same gloves that he's wearing in the Force. This is this character from The Force Unleashed. This is actually like a screenshot
Right.
from The Force Unleashed.
Okay.
And then
okay.
it's the same. It's modeled after the Tulak Horde helmet from like
Yeah.
the Old Republic and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I say
have
that's a hell of a thing
to change. Yeah. The daughter and the son and the father of the Force planet, where you have the embodiment of the dark side, the light side.
From Mortis.
Yeah.
Or Lothal, or
Yeah. Mandalorian armor and the Twi'lek life totem thing. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, there's so much stuff. I mean, you have to imagine they just had so much fun with this.
Yeah.
But I also love the rock, paper, scissors.
I love.
I want to know what this is.
What was the rules that they said too? They said something rules. Well, all I know is they just did. It was rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock for a second there when they did, because that's the thing that in Big Bang Theory that they do for lizard when they do rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
It just
Roski rules, Roski rules, or Roski. There it is.
Yeah. But I mean, this is actually part of good world building, right? Is you throw stuff out and don't explain it.
Yep, just little.
You don't need to
little tidbits, just little things, little traditional. That's what I was saying about the Chandrila, like traditional things. Like we're seeing all these little tidbits from around, cultures that we never got to see, and like planets that we never got to. Like they've only maybe been named, like as a planet in like a list somewhere.
And they're putting so much culture into it, and they're putting language into it, and they're putting just traditions, and it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. It's especially great for people playing in like like tabletop RPGs and things like that. You have so much more fun backstory lore to pull from.
Wait for it.
There it is. That's gonna leave a mark for those guys.
Yeah. And just think, that wasn't even one of the bad monsters on this planet.
Nope. Like, see now, like this could be like a fun, what is this planet? Why does it exist? Why is it made, like, are they genetic experiments gone wrong? Are they just crazy animals that live on this planet? Do the Mandalorians go there and hunt? Like, there's so many cool things that you could just make up from this.
And I love how they don't say anything. They just do the flyover, and you see, and you realize what's going on. This show does such a beautiful job of. Yeah, you're right. It's a moon.
It's just a moon. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, they do such a beautiful job of letting you connect the dots yourself. It's great.
Yeah. Though
you guys are screwed. Sorry.
To point that out too, I do love that they do that. Like they're showing like the astronomical type of stuff that they're showing. Like, normally you just assume, it's a like a surface thing that people are living on planet, but no, it could be a moon. Like, Jupiter has plenty of moons that we think could sustain life, and that's where they're looking for in other galaxies too. So the
Yavin 4 thing was just absolutely amazing. So
it was the little Yavin reference there. Yeah,
because that exactly now how they end up on Yavin 4, which I mean, we didn't need to know that, honestly. Didn't need to know that, but it's funny.
So for those who are in the watch party still, the watch party may continue playing. So if you want to keep watching to the next episode, pause it and finish watching us, and then go back and watch the next episode. But we will not be watching the next episode this week.
Yes.
And that is because we have to watch it next week. But before we get that far, What were you going to say, Jen?
I was going to say that this is actually the problem with the release format of 3 episodes at once is technically that warning that we gave about attempted sexual assault.
Yeah.
It's the next one.
It's next episode. Yeah. I just,
Yeah.
you know, I wanted to give a trigger warning for mentioning it.
Yeah.
It happens in the next episode, or the attempt is in the next episode. Yeah.
Yep.
Which, you know, good for her for fighting that off. And especially with where she is mentally herself because of that, the doctor that put her in like that horrible, you know, we went over it.
Dr. Gorst.
Yeah, we went over
Dr. Gorst.
in the last one. I had the clip. I won't play the whole thing, but
there's an outer rim moon called Dizon Frey. There was a sentient species there, quite unusual. Extremely hostile to the concept of an imperial refueling center that was being planned. Local commanders were granted permission to use any means necessary, and they make a sound as they die, a sort of choral, agonized pleading. There were 3 communications.
His face when he said pleading, like this, the like, barest tint of a smile, and like he relished in it, was just he's so greasy. I just wanted to see it again because that guy's apparently he's a pretty good actor for that.
Oh yeah, no. He sounded it was horrifying. And part of the horrifyingness of it was how clearly like he wasn't chewing on the furniture, right? He was just very pleased with his scientific research and super excited to share it. And that's part of what made it so deeply creepy. Fair point, Mike. It was an assault. It definitely was an assault.
Yeah, it was a testament to her fighting it off, but it has the theme of sexual assault in that episode.
Yeah,
and it shows, especially to survivors and stuff like that. It shows this is not his first time doing this, so it's easily to imagine the string of broken people he's left behind him, which is horrible.
But I think the important thing, just to briefly touch on that just a tiny bit longer, is that part of the reason why I didn't find this objectionable, and a lot of people I know didn't find it objectionable, is because it was centered on Bix. It was not filmed in a male gaze kind of way, right? It wasn't attractive. It wasn't, titillating, and it wasn't about Cassian at all. And that's important if you're going to do something like this.
Yeah,
because this is a very risky thing they did. It very easily could have not worked and been terrible. And part of what would have made it terrible is if it was about Cassian.
Yeah.
If
they made him like swoop in at the last minute, ooh, my camera went away.
If they made him swoop in, or if they had her tearfully confess to him and then him take revenge. If they had, there's all of these kinds of ways they could have centered it on him, and they didn't do that. So good on them.
Yes, Luna is going to eat. He's on my next to his normal bed, because obviously he's got to choose from multiple beds. Is his food and his water. So he does this. He grazes. He's a grazer. So like he eats a little, goes and lays down. Eats a little, goes and lays down. Comes up, drinks, goes and lays down. So he's on his rotation of eating and drinking right now. All right. Yes. So the other thing that we usually do at the end of the episode, like I said, next week's episode, is announce who is going to be in our episode for next week, which is another fellow content creator. You may have seen them on an episode of Malkier Talks recently, Aisha. I'm really looking forward to hanging out and talking with her and getting to see Crystal again next week. So that should be fun. We will have links to her social media and all that stuff below the link of the live when I get it listed when we're done here. So just watch the Drag Amount. That's a great time to suggest people to go and like and subscribe, hit the little notification bell under the YouTube thing if you want to get alerted when we list new live things coming up. We're going to have some fun announcements pretty soon. One of them I think I can say fairly right now is at the end of season 3, we had the lovely Zenobia Kloppers, which I love saying her name because she's one. After having gotten set to sit with her for 2.5 hours and talk to her, she's a ton of fun. I love her. I love her personality. I love her brain. I love her thoughts on things. She's such a huge super nerd. To drive that point home, we announced the movie that we were going to watch the following week, which was Galaxy Quest. And she reached off screen and picked up her Galaxy. And she didn't know this prior. I didn't tell her that we were doing that. She had like in her DVD collection, her Galaxy Quest DVD just ready, just sitting there. So like, I was like, you are one of us, girl. I love you. But we are going to be doing a longer form interview with her, a sit down where we talk to her and like her experience as a young female Black nerd in South Africa. Like she's got and all of the amazing work that she does there as she raises money for charity. And she's been in a lot of charitable events focused around like arts and things in South Africa. She's really cool. We're going to talk to her, sit down and talk to her. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, we are going to record that live for our Patreon. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, you can join in on that recording, chat with us, chat with her while we are recording it, and then get an early unedited version, an edited version, and then we will post it publicly, a couple of weeks later for people. So just another shameless plug for our new and improved Patreon that we have going on. Thank you, Glenn, for sharing that stuff in chat.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Glenn.
Jenn has done our Inside the Dragon Mat interview before. So before I reference what all of Jen's stuff is that's in chat right now, I want to say stick around. We're going to play a little Star Wars game, like a rapid fire Star Wars game after we appropriately pimp Jen's upcoming events and books and stuff. So Jenn, I think we have a couple of people in the greater Atlanta area that usually watch. So that is where Jenn is located and often doing, author and reader and literature events in the area. So I know you have a couple coming up. What are you going to be doing next?
Well, okay, so Friday, admittedly, I think is sold out, but Friday I will be at Eagle Eye Books in Decatur, having a conversation with Joe Abercrombie about his upcoming book, The Devils. And the next day, I'm going to be at Read It Again Books in Johns Creek, talking with Evan Lycan? I'm getting his name wrong.
Lycum.
I
forgot to tell you, I looked it up.
Okay, thank you.
I looked up an interview with him and he said it, Lycum.
With his book, Angie Kills a King. So, so I'm very excited about both of those. The second one on Saturday, you probably be able to get into. That one's, it's his debut. Joe Abercrombie, of course, is famous on his own right. So,
oh yeah, but this book is his books are usually like darker and a little sadder.
Right.
This one is a comedy.
Yeah, The Devils is hilariously funny, which I was not prepared for because it's Joe Abercrombie. He's kind of known for grimdark.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, The Devils is really funny, which is very cool. And I'm going to need to bug him about where the second book is, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. And then what was it? There's a podcast too that's coming up, so that everyone can join in and listen on.
I don't know when it comes out. Right, we're recording it on Sunday. I don't think it's live. I think that's just us recording it. So, well,
I'm going to post a link to that podcast, which is Dragon's Daddy's Deep Space, which is a fantastic
greatest name ever.
Yes,
it's a book club podcast, and they're doing the Ruin of Kings. So, if you want to check that out to get an introduction to my debut book, arguably what I'm most famous for, that would be a good way to do it.
Okay, cool. All right. So that gets us to our little Star Wars game. So my idea for this is I wanted to do like a rapid fire Star Wars, not trivia, but more like a this or that, or a yes or no, or
Okay.
make a rapid fire choice between two things.
All right.
Because there's a lot of things. One of my favorite quotes I've heard over the years about Star Wars specifically is, "There's no one that hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans." And
I would agree with that. Yeah.
There's been some questionable choices in, Star Wars properties over the years that I don't like. I think it's fair to say a lot of the negativity surrounding the more recent Star Wars stuff is just from bigoted assholes. You could just say, I'll just say that pretty straightforward. There are valid criticisms of things, but most of it revolves around, casting choices and and putting females in leading roles and the general nonsense that follows with that.
Yeah, there's valid criticisms, but there's also a lot of dog whistles happening. So,
always.
Yeah.
But that being said, reverse BLT it beat me to the punch a little bit for my first one that I wanted to pitch.
Oh no! Okay, go ahead and tell it anyway. I'll give you the honest. I know what I'm up against now, though.
Yeah. Okay, so something that universally I think a lot of Star Wars fans hate. You have to basically we need Darth Jar Jar is a thing, but you get to get rid of midichlorians.
Done.
Okay.
Absolutely done.
I don't even need to say the other one. Okay. Which is midichlorians stay and Darth Jar Jar isn't a thing.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Done.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How would you put Darth Jar Jar into the canon right now? Like if they were to make him a thing, how would you put him in? Or how would you like to see him put in?
I mean, I think I would probably have him be like there's a long history of Sith Lords having like claiming line of Bane, we're only going to have one apprentice, and then having like the side apprentice.
Yeah.
So him doing a acolyte style stranger, Plagueis having his little side acolyte that nobody knew about, who's gone tripping through the prequels pretending to be an absolute bumbling idiot, but is actually a dangerous Sith Lord. Yeah, that could work.
I mean, we had the absolute bumbling old frail person, but actually is an awesome Jedi in Yoda. So like, why not have a version of that on the other side? Yeah. I really just want to see Darth Jar Jar flip onto the screen, fight Darth Vader, and call him Little Annie, while they're fighting, because I think that would be hilarious. All right, next. This is a this or that, so you have to pick one or the other.
Okay.
BB-8 or Chopper?
Okay, that one's hard.
I know.
I got to go with Chopper.
Okay. I fully
keeping
agree.
Chopper. Yeah.
Keeping Chopper. I fully agree. I mean, obviously, I
mean, BB-8's adorable. Don't get me wrong. Chopper just has like so much personality.
Oh yeah. Dave Filoni said he is the most foul-mouthed being in all of Star Wars. A title previously held by R2-D2, apparently.
I could give you Noman Garden said, Glenn said, I do not mind midichlorians and I'll never understand why people mind them. I could explain it, but we don't have time.
Yes.
So I will respect your opinion, but I don't agree with it.
All right, next. In that same line there, L337, L3 from Solo, or K2SO?
K2SO.
Yes. Love K2SO. And Alan Tudyk. Don't get me wrong. L3 was great, but K2SO.
Unfortunately, she runs afoul of a little pet peeve of mine in the Star Wars universe, which is the tendency to try to over-explain every little thing.
Okay.
Right?
I see that.
Like, I have no problem with that character. I don't know that I needed to know that whole thing with the Millennium Falcon. Like that was just like, did we need that? I don't think we needed that. So yeah, K2SO.
Okay. The next one is again also keep or lose. We have to keep one, lose one. And now this is a part that I'm excited to talk about. So it's going to be a little shorter. I mean, it's going to be a little longer because it's been some fantastic new Star Wars stuff that has come out. Ahsoka or Asajj Ventress for new content, essentially, because we know they're both going to be in the content and they're going to be making new stuff. Who do you want to see? Like, if they were going to make, like, but let's pretend season 2 of Ahsoka isn't happening yet, and on the chopping block is they're going to make a live action show and only one gets to be done. Asajj Ventress or Ahsoka?
That is so tough. I do want to see more stuff with Asajj Ventress, but I'm also a little bit wary of seeing stuff with Asajj Ventress because at some point they're gonna have to explain, well, why the hell Asajj isn't around, and I'm dreading that day. I mean, they've definitely pulled retcons with Asajj before.
Yeah. I mean, again, we're Star Wars fans. We know retcons are part of the lore.
So she could be like frozen in carbonite somewhere. I don't know, but I gotta go with Ahsoka.
Okay, I'm still torn. Ahsoka is my favorite character. Like seeing her grow up through Clone Wars and into Rebels and then back again with at the end of Rebels, like seeing like some of the stuff that happened behind the scenes in Clone Wars, like when they did flashbacks and stuff. And now her show, so great. But yeah, man, I don't know. That is my opportunity to mention the new Star Wars stuff that has just came out for Ventress specifically. So they put out these shorts that are following the Tales of the Underworld, Star Wars Tales of the Underworld. They're following Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane, who is the blue alien, big red eyes.
Duros
bounty hunter. He looks like he's out of a Western, essentially. Fantastic character also. But oh my God, the writing in that has been amazing. Like, I've only watched the first episode, but oh God, I'm not first 2 episodes, but I was like, oh my God, this is like toward the end of Clone Wars writing, like the Star Wars Rebels, like mid-series stuff. Like, I was like, oh, it's so good.
Oh, these are both past stories. These are both
prequel.
So yes,
current timeline.
Cad Bane, yeah, it's pre. They're still alive when these stories are taking place.
Correct.
These are pre.
Yeah. The Tales of the Underworld. I think on the timeline falls pre A New Hope, but pre A New Hope and Rogue One, but like post and pre Rebels. So it's like pre Rebels. Right. It's right after basically Ahsoka, the last season of Clone Wars ends.
Glenn, what's your definition of modern? I mean,
Ahsoka is modern.
The Ventress one is modern. Again, what's your definition of modern?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, we've got the Star Wars universe now covers this huge span of time. And, pretty clearly the Empire is still in charge. So,
okay. So
it is after Dark Disciple. Yes.
Yeah. As per Dave Filoni, Ventress's episodes occur shortly after the Bad Batch of season 3. So,
right.
Which is,
so it would still be before A New Hope.
BBY.
It would still be before
36 to 40 years BBY. Oh no, 27 to 33 years BBY, and then
what?
Cad Bane is 36 to 40. It says.
What?
Yeah, Cad Bane's episodes are set earlier, with the first episode around 52 to 56 BBY, the second episode 36 to 40 BBY.
That makes no sense. What are you getting that information from? I mean, not the Cad Bane one. Sorry. Apologies, not the Cad Bane one. That may be very well the case, but I meant the Asajj Ventress one.
Oh no, I said Asajj Ventress when I meant Cad Bane. I didn't see. Okay. Yeah.
Because it couldn't possibly be that long ago. Again, the Empire's in charge.
Yeah, the Empire's in charge. No, the Cad Bane ones are the ones that are like 50 years BBY.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So back to rapid fire stuff.
Yes.
you get to recast Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, or Qui-Gon Jinn doesn't die.
Are we taking the Obi-Wan Kenobi apprentice books as a thing that happened?
Kind of. That's where I got the idea from.
If the apprentice books happened, then actually, you know what? Yeah. Qui-Gon Jinn doesn't die.
Yeah.
I like Hayden Christensen. I think he's done a fabulous job in the role. I don't see any reason to replay him, and yeah, why pick on him?
I love Hayden, and I love the new stuff that we've been getting with him. But you know, it's an easy thing to poke at.
And it would definitely have put things in a different, like, see, I don't think necessarily, and Mike and I disagree on this. I don't think necessarily that Qui-Gon Jinn would have been the best thing ever for Anakin. But okay. I do think that there's some generational trauma happening there that might have come out. And certainly I think young Anakin's comparing everything Obi-Wan did to, you know, his imagined dream of what Qui-Gon could have been if he had been his master would go away, because he'd actually have a living person to compare it to and see that he's not perfect. So yeah, that's an easy one, actually. So
as per Screen Rants, which you all know my feelings on the Screen Rant writers. Don't get me wrong, I like them and they're fun. I just like to also make fun of them when they get things wrong. The Tales of the Jedi A Way Forward episode 1 takes place, actually, like the very beginning sequence of it takes place during the Clone Wars. And then, but the meat and potatoes of Asajj Ventress' story takes place just after the Bad Batch season 3. So take that with a grain of salt. Okay. And then this is a personal choice for you.
Okay.
Lightsaber crystal. Barring the deep lore of what they represent and just going off vibes and like the color, yellow or purple?
Purple.
That's my lightsaber color too. That is, when we got to pick our lightsaber colors, when we built our lightsabers, mine was purple.
Neither of them, mind you, would be the ones I would actually pick.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm curious. What are your lightsaber colors, and what do you think Jenn's lightsaber color would be if you got to pick? And then, do you own any lightsabers yourself?
I don't, which makes me sad. Someday.
It makes me sad too. We need to remedy that, I think.
Yeah.
Bill's a green. Yeah, I feel like Bill would definitely be green. Though I also could see green. I mean, I could see Bill as a blue lightsaber as well. So yep. Green. All right. So we have a vote. We have one vote for green. White. Okay. Well, and I feel like Mike's might go a little bit stronger with the voting here, because I feel like he has a little insider knowledge.
I've never talked about him with this. I've never discussed my own lightsaber color with him.
Okay.
I'll have you know.
Okay, interesting. So since we mentioned purple and yellow, and you're our guest here, and I know you have deep lightsaber lore, what do those represent?
You mean like what? So, I mean, green is the color that was traditionally Jedi counselors.
Yeah.
Blue is the color for guardians. Yellow is the color for sentinels. White has been a couple of different things over the years. Most recently, white is a redeemed lead Sith crystal.
Yeah. I like that. I was on the fence about the whole bleeding crystal thing and breaking them and healing them, but then when I saw it actually done, I was like, I like it. And
I mean, obviously we see orange with Ahsoka, right, with Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. have orange lightsabers, but I don't. Have we established what that one actually like? Does that represent anything, or is it just?
There's a lot of theories, but I haven't seen like anything specific yet. It's more. It's the thing that I like the most is it's like not exactly dark side, but it's not. But it kind of is. Like it's almost like what people imagine a gray Jedi to be. Like it's like they're teetering a little.
Yeah, I don't know, because that doesn't really go with the whole how.
I don't like it, but that's the one that's like closest to what I imagine it.
Right. Yeah, but it doesn't really go with the lore of how these days the lore of how red lightsabers get to be red. Yeah. So. Yeah. But no. If everybody's done guessing on that one,
yeah, we had like 3 votes for 2 for green, 1 for white, and 1 for orange.
Yeah, actually, Mike called it. It would be white.
White. Okay.
He called it.
And all right, is it a redeemed crystal from your days as a Sith, or is it a redeemed crystal from the Sith lightsaber that you took?
Oh, I think it would definitely be a redeemed lightsaber, redeemed crystal from that I took from some Sith.
Yeah, because I could definitely see some Mara Jade vibes. Like I could get behind that for you a little.
Yeah, no, I've always been a quiet nerd. I wouldn't have been. I didn't have the wild youth that would have been required for that.
So it wouldn't have been Jenn Lyons' Hand of the Emperor, or maybe, most likely not. But
yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah. So okay, next one. Is there next one? Okay.
No, that was the last one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. That was the last one that I wrote down. If anyone else, do you have one in mind? Anything that you could think of? You want to throw at me?
Oh,
to put you on the spot.
Gosh. Okay. So, let's see.
Or if chat has any.
I mean, obviously, they've got some stuff out game-wise that's coming out, but I got to ask, as far as like media is concerned, shows, movies, etc. Revan, yes or no?
Oh God. That's so tough. Yes, if they do it well. Like, I know I can't say that. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes because I trust Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. And I want Revan to be a thing. So for those who don't know, Darth Revan or Revan is the main character in Knights of the Old Republic, old Xbox Star Wars RPG. And then, he's appeared in a lot of other stuff since then as like a ancient High Republic, super powerful Jedi, then Sith, then Jedi again, and then not Jedi and not Sith. It's been a bit of a roller coaster for Revan over the years.
Yeah. I mean, Revan is currently canonically mentioned, so he canonically exists, but we don't know anything about what that canonical character looks like.
Yeah.
But
back to our inside the Dragon Man questions.
Who in Star Wars would be the best roommate?
C-3PO.
Really?
I think so. Like, first of all, he speaks 1 million languages, and he can speak with your computers. So like, he is your personal assistant. He can clean. He knows millions of cultures too. So I'd be like, hey, 3PO, give me a Wookiee recipe for what I got in the fridge right now. You know what I mean? Or give me a Togruta recipe for something spicy, and I feel like he would be able to bust that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. And certainly he did seem like he did right by Padme when he was running around with her.
Yeah.
But I think Mike's comment is he's not your roommate, he's your maid.
He's your maid.
Is a valid one.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
would give him full. He would not have a restraining bolt. He would just be able to chill and like. It is his passion to provide that information. I think we've learned over the years of seeing C-3PO, like finally being able to do the thing that he's programmed to do. You know what I mean? Provide cultural information and languages for people. I feel like he would enjoy doing that.
Yeah. Gosh, who would be the best roommate? I mean, my instinctive immediate one, because of course the famous roommate situation would be Asajj Ventress. But that's just because I was thinking of Asajj and Ahsoka. That's not necessarily like the best. But I don't know.
It's tough. There's so many characters. It's
yeah.
like which way do you want to go with it? You want like an awesome, cool, like one that's going to throw really good parties, or do you want like a fellow bookish like introvert? Like it's just
Right,
like where
right.
do you want to go with it? You can pick anything. Like
Like yeah, Obi-Wan Kenobi would probably always pick up after himself, and you would never have to worry about, there'd always be either tea or coffee depending on when it's set.
Yeah.
There'd
And
always
he
be
would
that
be
ready
like the
for him.
dad in the friend group. He would 100%
Yeah,
be the
yeah,
dad
yeah.
of the friend group. Yeah.
So there's that, but then you also have like
Lando.
No.
Lando would throw some great parties. Like if
He
that's
would
what
throw
you're
some
into,
he would throw some great party, but that's like having Quinlan Voss as a roommate.
that's fair.
He'd throw some great, but you're constantly having to get him out of things.
Yep.
He's calling you late at night and saying,
Yep.
"Hey, I need to borrow money."
Yep.
No.
Listen, someone's chasing me because I lost a bet and couldn't pay them.
Right. Could you just come here and pick this up for me? Pick me up over here, and don't worry about the
Wedge.
people that are chasing me. Wedge. Yeah. Okay.
That's good too. That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
All
we
right.
got a bot. Speaking of, I just like when we get bots. Sorry. We haven't
All
gotten
right.
the porn bot yet. That's the one I've been holding out for. All right.
All
Anyway,
right. So I think.
did you have a roommate, or was that it? That way we were just like, there's just too many and we can't pick one. I did.
I mean, yeah, there's too many.
I
There's
support
different
that.
goods and bads, if I want to really be min-maxy about it, I'll be like the daughter. But so
that's fair.
Because
that is entirely
why not
fair.
have a goddess as your roommate? But
All right. Anyway, Jen, thank you for hanging out with us. I love your brain. And I love especially talking to you about Star Wars. Like you're just like an endless well of fun stuff about Star Wars. And I know you could talk about it all day, which is fun. Obviously I like Star Wars and I can listen to it, but you can really tell when you have a fellow nerd who's passionate about something and they start talking about it, because they're really, I can listen to any nerd talk about the thing that they nerd about at all, because one of yours happens to be Star Wars is just like icing on the cake for that. But
I have a lot of things I nerd out about, but Star Wars probably more than most of them really does live rent free in my head. So
yeah, that's fair. And if you enjoy Jen's living in Jen's head, I posted a link to her website where you can find all her social media links and links to find her books and the upcoming events. So make sure to go and give all of her social medias a follow so that we could stay up on when Full Negative is coming out and the Green Deadly Things.
Green and Deadly Things.
Green and Deadly Things. I almost had it right.
And actually, I think Full Negative can be pre-ordered. And Green and Deadly Things can be pre-ordered, so they're both out there right now.
Okay, and if you want to find out why Jen doesn't like midichlorians, go and poke her on social media. I'm sure she'll have no qualms about letting you know in a full feed of why of her feelings on midichlorians.
Yeah, I can definitely do it on a whole chat on the logical problems with midichlorians.
Fair enough. All right, let's see if we can get this. Say goodnight, Jen.
Good night, Jen.